Maybank is among the top 4 banks in Southeast Asia, with total assets of 183 billion US dollars. It is an international network of over 2,400 branches and offices in many countries, employing 47,000 employees who serve more than 22 million customers. It is the first among listed Malaysian companies and among the top 500 companies in the Forbes Global 2000 leading companies of the world. This week, we take a look at the success story behind the ASEAN Tiger. Hello, I'm Rosmani Samdali and welcome to Tribute to GLCs, a show where we'll be showcasing government-linked companies and their contributions to Malaysians in general. Now, Maybank has transformed itself from being a local player into a regional banking powerhouse. Let's take a quick look at its transformation process.
2,400 offices in 20 countries, serving over 22 million customers, 47,000 employees, 640 billion ringgit total assets. The largest bank in Malaysia. Maybank, 4th largest in Southeast Asia. Maybank is also the largest financial services group in Malaysia, operating from its key home markets in Malaysia, Singapore and Indonesia, across all 10 ASEAN nations, as well as other key Asian countries and global financial centres. Maybank Group kicked off its transformation program in July 2010 with the aim of strengthening Malaysia's financial services industry and to further boost its plans for regional expansion. Over almost 5 years, Maybank has built its expertise in a wide area of financial services, and today its range of services includes commercial, investment, Islamic, offshore and internet banking, as well as stockbroking, insurance and takaful, asset management and venture capital financing. Being known for its leadership and financial strength, Maybank's 3 home markets of Malaysia, Singapore and Indonesia accounted for 88.6% of total group profit tax PBT in financial year 2014. Malaysia is the largest contributor with 59.7% of group gross loans originating from this market and a contribution of 71.2% to group PBT. Second contributor in Singapore with 14.4% contribution in 2014. Maybank's mission of humanizing financial services is clearly demonstrated through its commitment to ensure easy access to financing for all, provide fair terms and pricing, advise customers based on their needs, and be at the heart of community. The group achieved numerous international awards for excellence and innovation, while their Maybank Islamic Berhad ranks top Islamic bank in Asia Pacific and 3rd in world in terms of assets. Maybank's ultimate goal is to be a regional financial services leader by 2015.
With us today, we have Michael Foong, who is the Group Chief Strategy Officer at Maybank. Welcome to the show, Michael.
It's good to be here.
It's a pleasure having you here. Now, Michael, Maybank is a regional banking powerhouse. It is also among the top 4 banks in Southeast Asia. Now, Mike, can you briefly explain Maybank's transformation from a local banking group to a regional banking powerhouse?
Well, our transformation really started in year 2008.
Okay.
And from there, we had a series of transformation projects that we carried out. And we reorganized ourselves in the year 2010 by business units such as Community Financial Services, Global Banking and Insurance and Takaful, appropriately supported by the support units. And we've had a pretty good run over the last 5 years and driving our mission of humanizing financial services towards becoming a regional financial services leader. We are pretty happy, pretty proud of what we have achieved, particularly in our home markets in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. And we believe that we have laid a quite strong foundation for further expansion and further growth over the next 5 years to 2020.
Okay, now, Michael, what are the major business segments in Maybank?
There are three. The first is community financial services that deals with all retail businesses as well as businesses for small and medium-sized enterprises and what we call business banking customers.
Okay.
And the second business pillar is global banking, and that deals with all corporates as well as with state-owned enterprises, with governments. And the third, of course, is insurance and takaful. So these three pillars constitute the way we go to market regionally across ASEAN and the rest of Asia.
Okay. Now, the government's 10-year GLC transformation program, which began in 2004, has since seen huge growth in terms of market capitalization and, of course, dividend payments to shareholders. Now, what are the challenges Maybank Group face in its quest to becoming a major banking group in the region?
Well, I think the first challenge was really establishing a regional footprint.
Okay.
And today we are happy that we are the only financial services group in ASEAN that has got an on-the-ground presence in all 10 ASEAN countries.
Okay.
So the footprint is there. The second challenge then really was to find the synergies between the different businesses that we have in the different geographies.
Okay.
So a lot of work to make sure that we have business units that collaborate with each other and geographic heads that will work closely with the business units to generate more shareholder value.
Okay.
I would say those were the two major challenges, and I think they continue to be areas that we work on, but we have achieved quite a bit so far in terms of getting that model cranking.
Okay. Now, when you talk about going to each country and the challenges, let's just touch a little bit on Myanmar. You have presence there. Now, Myanmar, this country is just coming out of socialism. Was it difficult to penetrate Myanmar's market?
Well, not really, because Maybank has a long-term perspective in every geography that we go into. That means once we enter a geography, we make it work over the long run. We have had a representative office in Myanmar, in Yangon, for quite a while. And because of that, we have a track record of people that are familiar with the marketplace and with the people there. So setting up a branch is a very natural extension of our presence in Myanmar. And we're very happy that we have that branch in place with a pretty strong group of people manning the branch. And we are looking forward to expanding our business in the corporate areas and hopefully in the SME sector as well. So we have a lot of positive views about the growth of Myanmar over the next 10 years, and we're eager to tap that.
Now, Michael, just now you talk about humanizing financial services. Now, Maybank's main vision is to be a regional financial services leader, where its mission wanting to humanize financial services. Now, can you elaborate more on this?
Sure. We believe that this mission, humanizing financial services, is unique in the financial services landscape, not just for ASEAN or Asia, but for the whole world.
Okay.
We have had comments that this is quite a unique proposition, and it really revolves around a number of things. The first really is to be at the heart of the community, and that's an ethos that we have in every geography that we operate in. We focus on advising our customers based on their needs. We provide fair terms and pricing, and that's really critical. And most importantly, we provide easy access to financing for all segments of society.
Okay.
So I think these four pillars really guide the way we think about the way we operate. And we believe that if we are true to these four things, we will be able to achieve our mission of humanizing financial services.
Yeah. Well, being at the heart of the community, you said, you have the core values of Tiger, aptly named Tiger for Maybank.
The Tiger values.
The Tiger values. Can you talk more about that? I'm very interested in this.
Well, Tiger values, the best way to describe them are values that guide the way we think and behave when no one is watching.
Okay.
So we have started with a huge promotional campaign on making Tiger values real way back in year 2009, 2010. And I'm glad to say that it's something that is really embedded in the psyche of all Maybankers, I would say, and increasingly across the region to the newer geographies that we operate in.
Okay, well, we'll take a short break now. When we return, we will be talking about how Maybank has benefited from Malaysia's chairmanship of the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC. Stay with us. Welcome back to Tribute to GLCs with Michael Foong, who is the Group Chief Strategy Officer at Maybank. Now, Michael, in 2015, Malaysia chaired the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC, where among its goals is to become a highly competitive economic region. Now, how has Maybank benefited from Malaysia's chairmanship in terms of its participation in the ASEAN banking sector?
Well, firstly, Maybank believes very strongly in the potential for growth in ASEAN, which, as you know, has north of 600 million potential customers. Very, very, very excited about that. Now, in terms of the AEC chairmanship, we've been working very closely with the Ministry of Finance, with Khazanah, with Bank Negara Malaysia, to highlight some of the pertinent issues on how banking can become more seamless throughout the ASEAN region. And that's of particular interest to us because we have an on-the-ground presence in all 10 ASEAN countries. The second thing that we have benefited from is the hosting of the series of Invest ASEAN roadshows, which we've held quite successfully in Bangkok, in Manila, in Singapore. And this has really helped to showcase the benefits of thinking about ASEAN as an economic grouping, as opposed to just a grouping of 10 countries.
Maybank, you know, it has moved from being merely a local banking player into a regional player now. How has the Maybank Group realigned itself, you know, to fit this outfit?
Yes, we have done a reorganization about 2 years ago into what we call a regional management structure. And what that entails is increasing the collaboration between the business units and the geographies. And the way it happens is to have a matrix reporting structure between the heads of the businesses and the heads of the geographies, particularly our home markets, Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. And we find that through this more intense communication and collaboration, we are able to increase the flow of regional deals. We are able to serve our customers more seamlessly and provide them their financing and other needs in all the countries that they wish to operate in, not just country by country. And I think the final thing that we have done is to ensure that for our largest customers, our most valuable customers, there is a single point of contact through what we call client coverage. There is one person that the customer can talk to for all their needs across the region.
Now, the use of technology, you know, specifically the internet, you know, it has advanced leaps and bounds in the last decade. Now, today, everything from shopping to, you know, everything under the sun is done online now. Realizing this, of course, Maybank has jumped on the bandwagon, utilizing technology in providing numerous banking innovations to its customers. Now, how successful has the migration into a digital lifestyle banking site been, you know, for Maybank's online platforms such as Maybank to You and Regional Maybank to You?
Well, we have achieved a lot. We began the whole drive to migrate transactions and the way customers engage with the bank as far back as 10 years ago. And we have now achieved a fairly good market share in transaction volume as well as transaction value on Maybank to You. So it's a very important asset, it's a very important platform to us. But we do not rest on our laurels. We believe that much more can be done. We believe that the move towards more digital interaction between customers and Maybank will continue to accelerate, and we need to improve our offerings. We need to improve our platform in tandem with this accelerating customer preferences for more digital interaction with the bank.
But when you say improve on our platforms, you know, what are we looking at?
We're looking at a few parameters. The first one is the response time. We want to be able to respond very quickly to all the queries as well as the transactions that customers wish to operate on M2U. We want to be available 24/7 by 365. And we want to ensure customers have that feeling of trust and security when they use Maybank to you. So I think those would be the three key parameters that we keep our eyes on.
Okay. Now, you know, Maybank to you, and you have regional Maybank to you. Now, how different or how similar are those two products in terms of, you know, in terms of operations, in terms of response?
The regional M2U platform is quite similar, country to country.
Okay.
The skin may appear slightly different, and that's by intent, because we want to tailor the colors as well as certain messages to the local geography. But functionally and the way it operates, it is quite similar.
Okay, nothing Maybank cannot handle.
Nothing that we cannot address.
Okay, well, we'll take another short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the future of Maybank and what's next on its agenda. Stay with us. Welcome to Tribute to GLCs. Now, earlier in the show, we heard how Maybank transformed itself from being a local banking group to a regional banking powerhouse. Now, let's take a look at what Maybank intends to do in the future to ensure it remains relevant and a force to be reckoned with.
Advising customers based on their needs, providing access to financing, having fair terms and pricing, and being at the heart of the community. As the business grows in volume, Maybank's contribution to the region growth increases. This is integrated into the Maybank's business model, humanizing financial services. Maybank 2020 Sustainability Plan not only defines focus areas, but it is a framework to manage sustainability issues and meet stakeholder expectations. Integrating environmental, social and governance issues, or ESG, are embedded systematically across the business. For community and citizenship, Maybank is to deliver long-term value for the community and environment by being the region's most impactful corporate citizen. Areas such as education, community empowerment, arts and culture, healthy living, environmental diversity, and disaster relief as part of sustainable programs to unlock social value and long-term results. Building the most engaged and inclusive workplace to help the group connect with customers and make better, more informed decisions for the business are one of the pillars serves as a guide in Maybank's effort to achieve its target. For people's sustainability, Maybank has lined up employee engagement platforms, learning and development, talent and leadership, diverse and inclusive workplace alongside with safety, health and well-being. To practice responsible financing, promote financial inclusion and help customers to build financial capability, Maybank integrates ESG consideration into its products and services by 2020. Access to products and services are imperative in sustainability, such as commitment to the environment, focus on customers, digitization and product stewardship.
Now, if you just tuned in, this is Tribute to GLCs with our esteemed guest, Michael Foong, who is the Group Chief Strategy Officer at Maybank. Now, Michael, regional expansion is one of your growth strategies, with becoming a regional financial services leader your ultimate goal. Now, what other market does Maybank plan to penetrate into, and what is the criteria for regional expansion?
Well, we have been quite open over the last year looking at expanding into the Thailand market for retail banking. We currently have the largest stockbroking firm in Thailand, but we do not yet have a commercial or retail bank. So that's something that we are keeping our eyes very closely focused on. But I think that any expansion into the region, any acquisition, will be done only if it meets the criteria of adding value to our shareholders. So it's got to be done at the right price, and obviously timing has got a lot to do with that price, and the ability to harvest synergies from that acquisition, from that expansion into the overall group. So those would be the key criteria.
Okay, wonderful. Now, in 2014, Maybank was voted as the #1 graduate employer in the country. Now, what are the measures taken by the company to attract and retain top talent?
Well, we have many, and it starts really in the belief that talent is almost everything to the bank. Without good people, we will not be able to sustain the success that we have achieved thus far. So we have many platforms for engagement. So two-way communication between employees, senior management, and the board. We emphasize a lot on interaction. The second thing that we do a lot, obviously, is learning and development. So we have a budget that allows us to identify the top performers, groom them up to take on more senior positions, and we make sure that our policies reflect that we promote from within, and that we groom our young talent to be able to move up the ranks into middle management and then ultimately into senior management.
What about overseas placements for these graduates?
Well, I think overseas placements are one of the most exciting parts of Maybank's value proposition to new joiners. In the past, if you thought about your career in Maybank, it's almost always in the context of Malaysia. Today, you could be posted in Singapore, you could be posted in Hong Kong, in Manila, in Jakarta, so very exciting. It is not easy because operating regionally, you have to deal with different regulations, more importantly, different cultures.
Trust plays an important role.
Trust, very important. But we see Maybankers really rising up to the occasion to really tackle these challenges head on, and we've had tremendous success in creating new platforms, new capabilities, and collaborative networks between our businesses and the geographies to generate success with our customers.
Okay. Now, in 2014, the GLCs, all the 17 GLCs, they employed 5% of the local workforce, it translates about 225,000. Now, what measures does Maybank want to take to probably increase that number to 10%, 500,000 workers?
Well, if you think about the pool of hires in Malaysia, they're almost all Malaysians, and we plan to continue to ensure that the pipeline are all Malaysians, and we increase the number of them. And I think that we are also wanting to create overseas opportunities for Malaysians. So train them here and get them out, give them even more exposure so they become a lot more globally rounded.
Okay, wonderful. Now, let's talk about Maybank's future plans. Can you elaborate more on Maybank's 2020 sustainability plan?
Well, we just celebrated our 55th anniversary, and our mindset is pretty simple. We want to be here in the next 55 years. So you're right, sustainability is a critical element for us. Now, in terms of sustainability, we look at a number of things. We look at our employees, and that's critical. We want them to have a long-term, flourishing career with Maybank. And obviously, we look at our customers from a CSR perspective to ensure that we are a very active contributor back to community in every geography that we operate in. And I think that is key to ensuring that our brand value grows decade after decade, not just year after year. How
far along is Maybank right now, in achieving 2020 status?
We are undergoing a major exercise to plan for that. I can share with you that our aspirations are high, and we will continue to push and drive the organization to even greater heights. I think the most important thing about the ethos of Maybank today is that we are aspirational. So as we look at the next 5 years, we are looking at looking to be a very different organization, much more sophisticated, much more regional than even what we are today, and having that broad set of products and services with highly skilled bankers serving our customers across Asia. Well, I hope you achieve that looking from your track record. I'm sure you will. Thank you so much, Michael Foong, for being with us today. Thank you. Well, that wraps up this edition on a tribute to GLCs. We'll be back same time, same place next week. For more information, you can log on to astroawani.com. Till then, I'm Rahsia Samdali. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.